Hi everybody, welcome to BrickVault. This is Mike and this is the Imperial landing shuttle. That is set number 75221. Inside we have 636 parts, the age recommendation is 9 to 14 and also it comes with 5 minifigures. Unfortunately, the price to piece ratio for this set is not very good. For this amount of parts, the price you have to pay is $89.99 in the US. This is the second version of the Imperial landing craft. The first one came back in 2007 and this one I think has a lot of upgrades and overall looks better in terms of shape and accuracy of the real craft. We're gonna go through all the features of this nice looking craft, but first let's check out the minifigures in their close-ups. The 2007 set had, as I remember correctly, 4 stormtroopers in different versions. This one has a slight of an upgrade because we do get Obi-Wan, R2, 2 stormtroopers and an extra pilot. Things, however, are not impressive here at all because, as far as I know, as I checked, none of these minifigures is in any way exclusive. Some of the combinations of parts like the head mold or the cap on the pilot are, unique to the set, but none of the prints or face expressions or any other elements are not exclusive. That's an exception only for the prints for those shoulders of the stormtroopers. So with that price on top of that, I think that is kind of a letdown. Obi-Wan in this form appeared at least once previously. Everything is the same, including the lightsaber that he's wearing, the print for his Jedi robe. I mean, there is not even a single update for the clothing at all. Single face expression that was seen previously. I think that's the most updated Obi-Wan that you possibly get, and same goes for this hair mold. So, as I was expecting, at least for Obi-Wan, the main character in this set, to be exclusive or unique, that is not the case, and that is the first disappointment. Here is R2 and same thing, the very same, very old guy. I think that print was used quite a number of times. Every single button of him or any detail for that droid is the same. I think the best version we had for R2 was the mud one that was coming with the Yoda's hut set, but this one is as plain as you can possibly get. Print for the back is non-existent as usually per R2, and his head is just the same with the same array of sensors. So if you guys are expecting to have an extra R2 in such an expensive set, unfortunately that is not the case, but still it's a good droid, all those astromechs are pretty high quality if you don't have one already. Now going through the Sand Troopers or just Tatooine Stormtroopers, non-exclusive prints, we've had those in the previous Tatooine based sets. The only thing that's different about both of these is that the squad leader has the orange cloth that has a new print on it, and same goes for just regular Stormtrooper that has an updated cloth on that pauldron on his shoulder. So nothing else than that was updated. The heads, as you can see, are the same classic. I'm saying classic, it's almost too much of a repeat of a head of a Stormtrooper. They were the same for I think years now. They don't really bother to update. I mean, that's not really a big disappointment because Stormtroopers are all about the cool helmet, so I don't really need a super unique face expressions for those guys, but just a note, they're all the same as they used to be. I think the back, the life support systems that they have for this sand environment operations are the same. Even the build wasn't updated. So again, you get 2 of these guys, and just the cloth can be considered exclusive as far as I checked. So I don't know, I think it could have been a bit more better than that. And the last figure here is the Shuttle pilot. Again, non-exclusive print. I think this type of officer outfit for Imperial forces was printed, I think I counted 5 or 6 times already. Same goes for the back, just this black clothing of his uniform. The print for the face with that comms is also appearing, I think last time I saw it in the AT-ST set. And the cap is also non-exclusive. The only thing that's exclusive about this guy is that this head and this cap were not combined in one set before, and that's all it is, but you don't get any special parts or anything that would make him stand out among the officer minifigures. He's gonna end up in our collection as an exclusive because of the part combination that he's getting in this set. So I think you guys will agree with me that the selection of minifigures could have been better in this one. At least one could have been some sort of an update or anything like that. But nope, we're getting just the regular pack of guys. Okay, let's see how the shuttle is going, because I think it's gonna be actually a pretty decent build. The shuttle looks better than the 2007 version, but I think the front shaping and the side panels actually differed a bit too much from how it actually looks like in like the movie renders or game renders like from Battlefront or any sort of graphic that depicts this shuttle. I mean, they don't have really any sort of incline here. This opening looks like it was, feels like it was like misplaced here by some reason. I know I understand it because it has to open up the panels, but there is no such thing in the real shuttle. This area here should be like flat, even, like horizontal, and that kind of like throws me off. The accuracy is just not the best. Plus those like parts, they seem to be like, I think the shuttle actually has like some weaponry in here, that looks a bit different in the original model. So I don't like it, to be honest with you. I know they try to like incorporate the function here, but also they could have lowered the joints here and maybe flush it out to actually open from a horizontal position, not this incline like here. So that is something I think they did not manage to get in there properly. The cockpit opens in a very simple way, of course. There's a space for just one minifigure. Only the pilot can fit here. You don't see the console on this element because the console, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see, the console is actually hidden beyond the canopy. So that is a nice feature that allows you to put the minifigure a bit more easily, a bit more, you know, play compatible, player friendly, like child friendly. And that's okay for a cockpit. I don't mind having no details here because there is not much more space than just for the minifigure. So I do understand that, and that is not really something I'm disappointed about. Right below the cockpit we have the two stud shooters right here. Those just represent both lasers and maybe some proton torpedoes. I'm not sure if these guys were equipped with any torpedoes or any missiles like that. But speaking of that armament, I wish they had some sort of a spring loader in this area here. I mean, it like asks for it, right? Those like opening. I think they should have added some sort of a spring loader that you can activate maybe from the bottom or from the back and just shoot from here. It will be much more concealed than this stud shooter that's like sticking on the side. I think it could have been a bit better here, but still those pretty much blend a bit with the cockpit and don't look as bad as you know wanted to. Now each side of the shuttle opens up in pretty nice way. You get this compartment and this one, pretty much every single, oops, I just knocked it over. So you can notice that some of these are just held by 4 studs, so you can actually pretty easily knock them over, but that's not the part that will actually bump around when you move the shuttle too much. There is a compartment for stormtroopers. You can fit those guys in here as they were like in their deployment phase. Actually they can like lie down kind of like in a semi-lying position right here. Side 2, boom, there you go. So you can actually place them that way. They can of course sit. I think if they sit, come on, get in there. Okay, yeah, totally fits. There's enough space for that. This one is a pretty cool function. You can just lower this piece of the ramp. It flashes out with your surface, and then you have a trap or a ramp to go and deploy your stormtroopers. This is actually a cool thing because this part actually can slide out, so you can have the ramp open on both sides, but it's designed that way so you can just get it back in, and once that's in, the same thing goes for the other side. So it's symmetrical build. Those open the same way and the ramp can go either way depending on which way you want to deploy your stormtroopers. I don't know why I like this function so much. I think it's a cool idea to have like a removable ramp and choose the side you want to deploy on. I know there is a good compromise to go for because there is not much space inside the craft to create the ramp on both sides simultaneously, and that was the best possible choice I think they could have made for this function to work like it does. This space, of course, is also large enough to fit astromech droid. He won't stud in fully because there is not much space for his spread of his, drive wheels. But still, you can close it, and there is that's pretty much a cargo compartment that works just the way it's supposed to do. Boom, close it off, and it flashes out perfectly. Plus, those stickers actually add a lot to the good looks. Stickers are not distracting. Those side ones are looking very good. There is a single sticker on top, on that vertical wing, which by the way is pretty nicely built. I like the studless element. I mean, the back of it is just brick build. This is just an added surface to it, but overall it's not thin like you might expect to. It's a bit thicker, but that makes it a pretty good looking element of the whole ship. The back is also pretty good looking. I like the flushed out area of the engines. Also the use of these pieces in the back to create the shape. The only thing I don't like is this opening showing some Technic structure. This red thingy, this red Technic axle could have been hidden by just using a simple like Technic pipe or something in gray or maybe in white to cover it up. I think there is space to do it. I'm not sure why it's like that. There is no function here. It's just like showing how rigid the set is. But again, I think it could have been hidden to just add to overall good looks from the front, which are not repeated that much on the lower backside of the ship. Although those are pretty well used, those elements here, I like how they flush out with the side of those opening cargo containers. So that's good, but yeah, this thing is not really working in that way. And also when it comes to the landing gear, it's non-retracting. It's very fixed in place, so that's kind of disappointing. I wish it kind of moved up and down a bit. Now you just end up with this being in a fixed position. Maybe the craft goes that way in the real thing, I mean the movie version of the thing, of course. But despite the good looks, I wish they had some sort of it to hide and flush together with the lower part of the hull. I think it could have been added in some sort of a simple fashion, but they kind of like skipped it, going just for the looks. And as you have already seen in a previous shot, those work in landing. That's actually the landing position it's supposed to be in. I keep it that way because it just looks better. It's like the flight position, but these have this nice ratcheted feel to it. They lock on in different angles. You can play around with it. So actually those look good. Maybe they could have used some more tiles in here to flush it out a bit. The wings look pretty simple, but I guess they try to keep the pieces count lower than that, which is kind of weird because for that price, I would expect to maybe add like a 50 more pieces to just flush these out. They could have easily do so and kept, maybe they could have kept the price to piece ratio a bit better than it is right now. So that is kind of something I don't fully understand. I have to admit, it's pretty hard for me to rate the value of this set. I think it's pretty pricey for what it gives you. I mean, no exclusive minifigures, some of the like compromises used in the actual craft. I mean, it looks good. Don't get me wrong, it looks very good. I was surprised how nice it looks when built. I was skeptical at first, but once you hold it in hand, it actually feels pretty satisfying to hold. Some of the elements could have been done better, like the back wings or some of that opening in the lower back section. Plus, they could have added at least one exclusive minifigure for that price. So it's kind of like a mixed bag of emotions and feelings towards this set. I think I'm gonna have to leave the judgment for you guys if you are willing to pay the price, but still you may as well have all the minifigures in this set already. If you're just looking for like a single exclusive element on those stormtroopers, then you may need to get them, like we have to get them because those are exclusive. But I just don't feel the price is justified for this one. It could have been like $10 or even $20 less, making it closer to 10 cents per piece ratio, but at this point it's way over that for $90 and just over 600 parts. It's a hard decision to pull off. Well, an update is good. If you have the old set, you may try to get it just for the update alone because it does look better. But if you are not feeling about this craft or not really want to have this in your collection, it's not something too hard to skip on, unfortunately. Alright guys, and that's gonna be it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoy our content, you can leave a like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and click that notifications button if you want to know whenever we upload a new video. That is it. Thanks so much for watching. It was Mike, and I'll see you next time on BrickVault. Hey, thanks for watching this video. As always, you can leave a like and subscribe. And also, if you want to support our channel, you can head over to our web store at www.brickvault.toys. You can find awesome models there. All these guys that I have on the table are available in the forms of instructions and parts lists. Every purchase you make supports our channel and also the designers that are working with us on those amazing models. So consider doing that. Thanks so much. And it was Mike. I'll see you again on BrickVault.